right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. My name is HD Rhodes, and I'm going to be your presenter for today. And today we're going to be able to go ahead and talk about, the opportunity for you as an entrepreneur, content creator, or even an educator to be able to have the opportunity to learn how you can go ahead and visualize your dreams, visualize your breakthrough. And the number one goal today is to teach you how to monetize your genius. And so without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on this presentation. And so these are going to just be your disclosures, everything in which you may want to be able to go ahead and learn to be able to understand the policies and procedures, and all your legal disclaimers are going to be found on the website here, thevibe.io/policies. And so the question in which a lot of people are asked many times, a lot of times in their private time at night, they got these questions going through their head. And that's number one, what is it they want to do? I'm going to go ahead and shoot you straight. 30 years ago, I had a multimillionaire ask me this same question. And what he asked is, he said, HD, if you had all the time and all the money to go ahead and live however you wanted to live, what would you do different? He went ahead and handed me a pen and a paper. And he went and grabbed a coffee, and he wanted me to sit down there and write down all my dreams and goals. And I challenge you, if you literally had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do different? Would you go ahead and change your zip code? Would you change your postal code? Would you go ahead and finally go ahead and live your dream and buy that mansion that's literally up on the hills? Or would you go ahead and build that specialty villa equipped with a full-size pool and a mother-in-law suite in the backyard? What would you do? Would you go ahead and start taking vacations in the wintertime in the Swiss Alps instead of Whistler? Would you go ahead and start spending your summers, in Bora Bora or the Maldives? Well, whatever it is that you want to do, the one thing in which you got to be able to take care of first is to be able to leverage time and money. And there's not a better place and a better time for you to be able to learn how to do that than with this company Vibe. Why? Because you have an opportunity to have the support you've always been looking for. Imagine being able to be supported by people who are making 6, 7, and 8 figures a year. Imagine being able to be in business with people who are like-minded like yourself. My mom used to always tell me that birds of a feather flock together. And in business, we like to always tell people that the 5 people you spend the most time with, you add up their income divided by 5, and smack dab in the middle, you're going to find your income. In the Bible, it says, do not be confused, but corrupt companionship will corrupt good character. So as we understand that association is everything, you have an opportunity to get in business with like-minded individuals with this company called Vibe, because they're people like you, people who have dreams, they have goals, people like your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, people like your siblings. The difference is they're people who, they've made a step and they've decided to go ahead and make a line in the sand and start living their dreams, start living their goals. And they've decided to go ahead and get in business with like-minded individuals. The difference in them and you might just be a common. Maybe you make $100,000 a year, but you've always dreamed to be able to become a multimillionaire. Well, guess what? Whatever the case may be, whether or not you're lacking the support for your ideas, the lack of startup capital, the space to create, or the time management, welcome to Vibe. You found your place to be able to network with like-minded individuals to be able to create the business of your dreams. Now, you got to understand, Vibe is a company that started in pre-launch, actually, in December 17th of 2024. And literally since January 10th of this year alone, they've had over 76,000 entrepreneurs, content creators, and educators just like yourself who've decided to go ahead and to sign up to be able to learn how to monetize their dreams, their goals, and their vision. And so what we want to do today is we just want to share with you an opportunity to be able to live your dreams, to live your goals. The vision is really simple. It's all about people and the products and the purposes, and Vibe is going to go ahead and supply you the process and allow you the opportunity to partner with, guess what, people who are maybe more successful than you. Maybe there's people who've just been a little bit further down the road. Maybe they're 5 or 10 years down the entrepreneur journey. They're going to be able to teach you how they've been able to leverage the technology as well as the business understanding and concepts to be able to create the profits in which they want you to be able to enjoy. You know what? You got to understand, you have an opportunity to be able to link up with a company where they have the sole mission is to be able to help you discover your dreams, who you are and what it is you want to do. Then they're going to literally help you to be able to develop that dream, that goal into a business. In other words, they're going to be able to help you to INC yourself. And once you've INC'd yourself, the best part about it is after they're going to help you be able to start your business and brand yourself, they're going to teach you how to sell and market. They're going to go ahead and give you the mentors you need to be successful. The best part about it is they're going to display the final product in 160 countries around the world. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never had YouTube or Skillset. I've never had Skillshare. I've never had Shopify. I've never had, guess what? Any of these companies like Amazon call me on the phone and go, HD Rhodes, hey, we understand that you have dreams, you have goals, you have visions. And you know what? We want to be the platform that's in 160 countries around the world that's going to help you to be able to accomplish those. I don't know about you, but I never received that call. But I'm going to tell you, back at the end of March, one of my good friends, Jerome Majette, he gave me such call. He said, yo, Diesel, what's going on? You go, HD, that doesn't sound professional. Now, you got to understand, I'm talking to one of my good friends. We were in the business for over 24 years in the mortgage industry. We made hundreds of thousands of dollars together. And so we're kind of comfortable. So when we talk, we don't talk, like other people who might be professional. We talk more like friends. And because he's from Philadelphia and my dad's from Alabama, my mom's from Texas, it kind of sounds a little bit less professional. So the conversation went simple like this. He said, yo, Diesel, man, did you ever go ahead and put that book on the market? I go, what book? He goes, that book you wrote 12 years ago. Oh, the Power Proclamation? He goes, yeah. I said, no, man, I actually got it edited and I spent $2,000 Canadian, to go ahead and send it to editors. And they sent it back 3 times. And I go, you know what? It's kind of feeling like a scam, like a pyramid scheme. Like all they wanted me to do was to keep editing my book, send it to there and keep paying every time I did it. So I decided I was going to go ahead and wait and see if I had any other friends who've been able to write a book and to be able to go ahead and publish it and go ahead and get their advice, so maybe I could go ahead and self-publish it. He goes, you know what, Diesel? It's your lucky day. Because I wrote that book called Why Did God Make Man? And I said, absolutely. He said, I found a company, man, that's pretty cool. It's called VYB. And literally their whole platform is centered around you. I go, what do you mean it's centered around me? He goes, their whole platform is to be able to find people who are educators, content creators, or entrepreneurs like me and you, HD. And he goes, guess what? I'm taking my book and kind of like LeBron took his talents to South Beach, he went ahead and decided to take his book to the VYB Corporation. And they promised to do 3 things. Number 1, to help him discover how to be a successful best-selling author. Number 2, they've allowed him to be able to go ahead and discover how he's going to now sell his book on this platform. And last but not least, now that his book is going to be on their platform, he's going to have visibility in 160 countries around the world. I go, you know what? That was pretty cool. And so I went ahead and looked more into it. When I looked more into it, I had an opportunity to be introduced to the CEO of the company, of VYB, and her name is Megan Lynch. And when Megan Lynch went ahead and explained this same presentation, which I'm showing you, she goes, HD, what you got to understand is this is just not a business opportunity. It's much bigger than that. This is an ecosystem. And I was like, what do you mean this is an ecosystem? She goes, HD, you got to understand, there's 7 powerful pathways in which we're able to help content creators, educators, and entrepreneurs to be able to literally monetize their vision, dreams, and goals. And so she went ahead and showed me what I'm looking at on the screen right now. She talked about these 7 ways to be able to monetize my genius. And I'm going to break down each and every one of these in the next slides. So number 1, she went ahead and explained how VYB Vote is literally the flagship product for this company. Originally, it's supposed to be kind of like a financially, a financial fitness type education, kind of like a university for money. And the more I started to look at it, well, as I started finding out, some of the educators like Barnaby, who spent over 30 years putting together the e-commerce platform in the country of Australia. He's literally the number 16th rated trader for Ethereum. He even knew about Bitcoin was only 20 cents. I go, man, that's an educator. I'd definitely like to go ahead and take his class. But they didn't stop there. They went ahead and added, some other educators, such as Courtney Logan, who spent, some time across the pond. He went to Oxford University. He's making over $100 million. He created an online course, being able to teach people Forex, crypto, NFTs to the tune of over $100 million. He went ahead and combined it now with the technology of AI, in which you're able to go ahead and have an AI assistant literally be able to teach you all things Forex, crypto, and DeFi. Now, the coolest part about it is he spent the last year with a scientist to go ahead and combine this online training course so that you're able to go ahead and connect it to your broker. So not only are you able to learn how to trade Forex, you're also able to be able to place guess what? Your order. So if you want to go ahead and put in, a buy or a sell, the coolest part about it is they also, as an educator and a teacher, he understands that most people literally lose most of their investments in the first 30 days of getting into that industry. And so he made it in his course so that you're not able to go ahead and lose more than a small percentage of your money every day. Why? Because his goal is to get you past the first 30 days. Me personally, I've actually been learning how to go ahead and invest in Forex, crypto, and DeFi for the last 3 years. And to be honest with you, I think it's one of the coolest things. I mean, imagine the opportunity to go on your phone, to go ahead and put in your investments, and less than 15 to 20 minutes later, you get a notification and it tells you made over $1,700. Well, you know what? That's exactly my story. And it's something that I was really excited about 3 weeks ago. You have an opportunity to be able to learn all that and more, including you're able to learn from someone who actually took the classes from Mr. Courtney Logan, Miss Twyla Kidd, and she made over $300 million literally just a couple months ago, just selling one of her NFTs. Now, you know what? If you think that's pretty cool, guess what? They got more than that. They got market insights where you're able to go ahead and learn what the market makers are doing, and you're able to learn how you should go ahead and go ahead and make the proper adjustments on your investments. They even have live classes. And if you're not able to go ahead and make it to the live classes, they have recordings. And so outside of that, they even have sports betting. And a lot of people, sports betting, HD, you bet. Do you know that's one of the number one electives in most universities in North America today? Last but not least, they have personal development, as well as they have a lady by the name of Ann, and she's one of the top Silicon Valley educators teaching people everything about AI. And they also have face-based courses for you to be able to learn as well. Now, guess what? If that's all they had, you know what? That would be more than the price to go ahead and get started with this educational course. But they didn't stop there. If you like Beachbody, and if you're familiar with Peloton, they literally went ahead and got some of the best personal trainers in 160 countries where you're able to go ahead and get access not only to their training, but also there's a meal prep, and also you're going to be able to take classes live or to be able to watch the classes that have been recorded depending on what your work shift is. Now, outside of that, one of the coolest things I like is this thing called Vibe Global. Vibe Global is a thing that allows you to go from being not just, a student, but it allows you to become the educator. If you're a content creator, maybe you have, your own social media platform and you got anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 people in, you're really looking at a way to be able to go ahead and to get your subscriber base open. Well, guess what? Here's a platform that you have literally 75 or 76,000 people who signed up literally just since January to be able to go ahead and get monetized, directing traffic to your online course. I mean, it's literally, imagine you have a value-added course, kind of like, my good friend Felicia Lacert. She's literally teaching people how to go ahead and to turn their native art into monetization. She has cups kind of like Starbucks, but the coolest thing is she's literally bedazzling and putting gems and all this creative, native artwork. And guess what? She literally just a week ago on July 1st, which is Canada Day, she sold over 500 pieces. Could you imagine? I mean, 500 pieces. I mean, imagine if it was only $50 a piece at $500. I mean, she didn't do pretty too bad, and that was just one day. Imagine being able to do the same thing and being able to learn all that on a value-added course at Vibe Global. Or maybe, you know what, you want to learn from my friend James Udell. James Udell is the number one jazz and gospel bass guitar player in all of Dallas, Texas. In fact, he's played in live concerts. He's even performed for the Hawkins, including, his favorite gospel musician. He's been able to be able to do that and more. And he's teaching classes not only on Facebook, but he's literally in the process of being able to use our AI program to be able to upload his classes on Vibe Global as well. Last but not least, I got a real good friend who spent over 18 years in Taiwan named Big Rob, and he's literally a certified ninja. And the coolest thing about it is he's taking his talents to Vibe Global. And so you and your children, and guess what? Your friends and family in 160 countries around the world are going to be able to take martial arts classes. Now you go, HD, is this really profitable? And the coolest thing is when I first learned about this, Jerome Majette goes, HD, imagine if Big Rob only charged $30 for his course per month. This company is going to go ahead and monetize them at a 70% commission split, which means unlike you to me that's on a 50% split on the commission, if he charges $30, he's going to earn $21. Now, the cool thing about Big Rob is he's already teaching these courses live at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington. He has anywhere between 30 to 50 people who are taking courses from him. But the best part about it is he's recorded these courses. Now he's uploaded it on Vibe Global's AI platform, and he has these courses working kind of of like Myron Golden talks about the most important business product you need to have in 2025 is digital content. Well, what do you think Vibe Global is allowing you to do? When you hit record on your cell phone, you're creating digital content that you're able now to upload to be a value-added course. And if he only had 1,000 people sign up for that course, $30,000 is going to be monetized to Vibe. But Vibe's going to go ahead and pay out 70% of that income back to Big Rob. So he's going to make $21,000 this month because 76,000 people happen to know 1,000 people who wanted to take martial arts from the Black Ninja who came straight from Washington State University. And guess what? Now he's teaching his courses on Vibe Global in 160 courses. Now, like I said, just like James Udell, just like Big Rob, just like Felicia Lessert, what is your genius? What is your superpower? I don't know. If you're like my father, Harold Rhodes, he's a Hall of Fame basketball player in the state of Alabama. He's also a Hall of Fame coach at Washington State University. Could you imagine how many tens of thousands of coaches would be willing to pay $30 a month to be able to learn from a D1 Division I basketball coach who was not only coach of the year, he helped select the Kodak All-American team, and he also helped select the women's Olympic team. You imagine the possibilities are endless. What is your skill set? What is your genius? What are you an expert at? And doesn't it make sense to go ahead and hit record on your cell phone and have an opportunity to learn how to be able to monetize that? And you know what? I think that just makes good business sense. Now, the cool thing about this is, you know what? I talked a lot about association at the beginning of this presentation. At Vibe Tribe, this is now where you're able to go ahead and rub elbows with people who are like-minded. Guess what? They're success-minded like you. Maybe, you know what? There's a bunch of people that you know, they're all in network marketing. You guys go, you know what would be cool? Hey, you're a Melaleuca, you're an Amway. Guess what? You're a Mary Kay. And guess what? I'm part of this Vibe company, in which is just an online platform. Wouldn't it be cool if we kind of started like a podcast where we're teaching other people how to go ahead and make money in direct sales and network marketing? We go ahead and put together a value-added course. We upload that value-added course onto Vibe Global, where I just got done talking about. And guess what? Now we come together in Vibe Tribe and we're networking. You know what? That's the beauty of Vibe Tribe. It's an opportunity to do what the Bible talks about. You know, iron sharpens iron. You know, kind of like my mom said, birds of a feather flock together. But now you have an opportunity where you can go ahead offline. You don't got to go to, Facebook, Instagram. You don't even have to go to LinkedIn. You can come into Vibe Tribe and now you get to communicate and rub elbows with people who are like-minded just like you. That's what Vibe Tribe's all about. Now, here's something which you got to understand. There's two ways that you can go ahead and participate in Vibe. Like I said, number one, you can be a customer. You go, HD, what's a customer? Well, a customer could be, you know what? Some of those businesses that are down the street that they just need business solution, because we got technology, we got AI technology, we got Vibe branding where we could go ahead and help them go ahead and get fully equipped with a brand new website or app. Guess what? We also have some other things in which a lot of these business services are going to need, like imagine, you know what, if they had a way to be able to send money peer to peer, guess what? We have that at Vibe too. But outside of that, another customer of ours, maybe it's your child who's in high school, who is going to college. Maybe it's just your aunt, your uncle, or cousin who goes, you know what? I'm not interested in being an entrepreneur, but I love to be able to learn how I could sit there and be able to make $100 a day, $1,000 a day, maybe $10,000 a day learning crypto, Forex, hello, or NFTs from the comfort of my home. Well, guess what? Whatever it is, guess what? That's what we consider a customer. A student is an ideal customer with our Vibe platform. Now, maybe you go, hey, HD, you know what? I like the thought of being a content creator. I like the opportunity of being able to get a 70% split for my value-added course. Or maybe, you know what? You're someone who's been in the fashion industry and you go, you know what, man? I would love to go ahead and start my own brand. I love to be able to have my own merch. You know what? I have a podcast right now. It's called Give Me Freedom. And one of the cool things is what we're getting ready to do at Give Me Freedom is we're going to get ready to start selling our merch. Now, the coolest thing about our merch is I don't got to worry about sending my merch in 160 countries. Why? Because all I'm going to do is upload all my merch on Vibe and something they call Vibe Styles, and I'm going to be able to literally upload my logos, my designs, and they're going to have my shirts, my sweats, my baseball caps in every color and every size. And guess what? The best part about it is they've already worked out the commission splits. All I got to do is upload my design. Now, if that sounds pretty cool, outside of that, maybe your business owner, you go, HD, I already got all that. I got my branding. I got my website. I already got my gear. I got my merch. You go, HD, you know what you could really do to help me? I just need to get the word out about, guess what? My do-it-yourself courses that I got online. And I'm more than willing to go ahead and upload it on Vibe Global. I say, great. We got something that's called, you know what? Vibe Spotlight. And Vibe Spotlight, you can go ahead and sign up to be part of our online directory, and which is going to be kind of like, imagine you'd be able to have, an advertisement link on Netflix or an advertisement link on Amazon Prime. Wouldn't that be cool? Because guess what? Our Amazon Prime and our Amazon and our Netflix is what we call Vibe Global. Imagine you being able to have a link, they click on that and they find out all about your product, your service. In fact, they could click on the link and have your 30-second elevator speech where you tell them about what your product and service, what part of the country that you're in, and why they want to do business with you. Maybe you go, HD Rhodes, honestly, the only thing I really need, I don't need marketing, I don't need sales. I don't want a value added course. I don't need a website, but you know what I need, HD? I got a business plan, and you know what? I think it's going to blow up and it's going to be the best thing since sliced cheese. The only thing I need is venture capitalists. Well, guess what? Vibe is kind of like a QVC. 4 weeks ago, we're in Chicago. We're getting ready to announce where we're about to go next. In fact, honestly, I think the next place we're about to be is at the end of August, beginning of September down in Florida. And you're going to be able to pitch your business kind of like Dragon's Den or the Shark's Tank. And we call that Vibe Ventures. Now, last but not least, what I want to do is break down the 6 ways you're able to go ahead and make money with Vibe. Okay, it says here 5 ways, but we went ahead and added a 6 way, in which I'm going to talk to you in a second. And so if you don't want to know anything about network marketing, you don't want to know anything about sales, at this time, I want to thank you for coming to this presentation. I want to thank you for your time. Go ahead and DM me if you just want to know more information about, creating, being a content creator, an educator, an entrepreneur, and just being able to go ahead and monetize yourself on Vibe Global with your value-added course. Or maybe you're a student and you go, HD, I heard everything you said, and you go, you know what? I just really want to be a student and learn how I can make, tens of thousands of dollars a month sitting on my cell phone and investing in Forex, crypto, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Or you know what? I want to just study investing in real estate. Hey, you know what? I completely agree, because I'm going to be honest with you. Where do you think some of my profits are going to be? There's some good properties I heard down in the state of Michigan. And you know what? When I moved out here 20 years ago, I remember 1 in every 4 houses was going in foreclosure. And to be honest with you, these days, it's still one of the best untapped states to be able to have real estate investments. And because of that, guess what? In Vibe Vote, we actually have someone who has a mortgage and real estate company named Tyron, and he's actually teaching people how he's made over $100 million in real estate investing. So guess what? I definitely suggest you go ahead and take his course in the Vibe Vote. So at this time, I want to move on now to the compensation plan. One of the best parts about this compensation plan is there's actually 6 ways we get paid. Number one, you can be a product of the product, like we've already talked about when we're talking about Vibe Global. But number two, we have a direct sales. Now, in our direct sales, we have an opportunity where you could go ahead and sell our business solution products, in which I was talking about, whether it's the websites or whether it's the applications, or maybe, you know what, you want to be able to sell some of the other people's products that's going to be, in the Vibe in the Vibe styles. You know what? You can go ahead and get paid for people going there and you directing people so that you can get paid. But one of the things I'm really excited about is I have a lot of friends and entrepreneurs who are in direct sales. And you know what? It just makes sense, because direct sales is the most effective way to move product to the market. And what happens is in Vibe, unlike a lot of companies, you know what? Everyone knows in direct sales that the more people you bring in and with, that is your profitability. When you drive depth, that's your stability. Well, the coolest thing about Vibe and the way that they run our direct sales is, guess what? We have a 3x10 legacy network. And basically that means that all you need is a content creator, an entrepreneur, or an educator. Or maybe you just know 3 entrepreneurs, or maybe you know 3 content creators, or maybe you know 3 educators. Once you went ahead and you sold, 3 of those individuals into the network, what you need to do at that point is you need to help them find 3. Now, the cool thing is, once you've helped those 3 drive down in 10 generations in depth, not only do you have you established, guess what, your longevity, but guess what? Literally on your 7th and 8th level in depth is when you literally unlock the most profitability in the company. One of the coolest things is every month that everyone goes ahead and they renew for their $300 a month. That includes all your taxes. One of the coolest things about that is that, guess what? You're going to get paid $5 of that $300 fee from everyone 10 levels deep in your organization. Now, once you get 10 levels deep, we're talking about over 88,542 people. When you times that by $5 each, remember, you got 3, who got 3, who got 3, 10 levels deep. that's literally going to add up to over $442,000. That's not a bad side income for knowing three people who want to be content creators or people who had a value added course they want to go ahead and monetize online. Now, the coolest part about it is outside of that, they also have fast start bonuses. Unlike a lot of companies, guess what? If you have a content creator, educator, or an entrepreneur, the fast start bonus out of that $300 for you is going to be $40. Now, you're not rich overnight, but the coolest part about it is they also have 100% check match bonuses. In the check match bonus, that means for everyone that they personally bring in, they're going to get $40. You're going to get $40. Now, guess what? As you go 2 levels deep, there's also a 50% check match. So guess what? You're going to get even $20 for the people that they brought in. On top of that, like I told you, you're also going to get those $5 checks for everyone who comes in 10 generations deep. When you go ahead and add up the money just on the direct sales part of this company, when we're looking at, the 6 ways you get paid like a CEO, overrides. Hello, you get profit sharing, you get direct sales, you get check matching bonuses. You know what? When I look at this, it absolutely blew my mind. In fact, the first time I went ahead and took a look at this compensation plan, I literally took the compensation plan, took a screenshot, put it in Chat GPT, and asked Chat GPT to show me how to make the most amount of money. By the time it was done, it said, "Do you want this in bullets?" I said, "Absolutely." By the time I got done reading down the bullets, I go, "Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness." And it was literally 12:30 at night, and I couldn't call all my friends because they're asleep. So I went online and I posted literally my first video. So what I want to do at this time is if you guys have any questions, I want to invite you to DM me. I would love to go ahead and give you an opportunity to get all your questions answered by my best friend, Jerome Majette. Why? Because Jerome Majette, not only is he the one who introduced me to this company, but he's also the gentleman who's going to be teaching a value-added course called Attraction Marketing. Attraction Marketing is the reason why Mr. Myron Golden is making $6 to $10 million a year just on YouTube alone. He took that course that cost over $10,000 from the company that Jerome Majette actually worked at. And now Jerome Majette is taking that skill set, taking that knowledge base, and he's going to be teaching it to everyone on Vibe for literally only $30 a month. And I would love for you to be introduced to him. So again, I want to go ahead and thank you for coming for this presentation. Number one, if you go, "HD, I appreciate the information. It's not for me." Hey, no worries. I look forward to being able to keep in touch with you. I love and respect you as a friend. Number two, if you go, "HD, this is great. I'm still trying to decide, do I want to be a student or do I want to go ahead and flip the switch and be able to go ahead and learn how to monetize my dreams and goals?" Hey, you know what? Go ahead and DM me, man. I'd love to go ahead and introduce you to Jerome or maybe even the CEO, Miss Megan Lynch, if she's available, to go ahead and get your questions answered. If you're number three and you go, "HD Rhodes, this is one of the best things since sliced bread. Man, how do we get started? Man, I got to do this. Man, I got a million business ideas. You know what, man? This is what I've been looking for. I've always been looking for a company that's going to teach me how to monetize my dreams, my goals, and to be able to make money doing what I want to do." Well, then congratulations. Welcome to Vibe. You know what? I appreciate your time. God bless you. I look forward to talking to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys at the top.